Dickinson, and I'm going to be carrying out this low vision assessment this morning.
It's lovely to meet you.
So can I check your name and date of birth, please?
Helen Denton. 20th of the 2nd, 1960. Sorry.
And is it your first visit to the low vision clinic?
Yes, it is today.
And how did you come to make an appointment here?
My optometrist referred me.
And who is your optometrist?
It's A1 Eyewear.
And whereabouts is that?
That's in Wrexham.
And what was it that how did you come to go to your optometrist? What were you?
Just a routine eye examination.
Right. And what problems were you having with your vision?
Well, I was struggling a bit for reading, and I thought I needed new varifocals to change my reading prescription.
But when you went, did they suggest any new spectacles?
No, he said the spectacles were fine, which I was a bit surprised about. He said that there was nothing more he could do for me, but I needed to see a specialist, but not at the hospital. So, and he suggested you.
Right. Okay. So when was it that you had this appointment to your optometrist?
About, I don't know, about a month ago, 8 weeks ago, I suppose.
And had you had any problems with your vision before that at all? Do you
No.
have a history of eye conditions at all?
I've worn spectacles since I was 4. Oh no, it wasn't 4, it was 7. Sorry.
And do you wear them all the time?
Yes, I do.
And you said that these are varifocals, are they? You're expecting a new pair of varifocals.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought I was going to have. Yes.
So how old are that pair?
2 years.
And do they improve your vision? Do you see better when you're wearing them?
Yes, I do. Yes, yes.
So this struggling with your vision, how long had you been noticing that?
Well, it's really sort of the last 6 months or so. I've been struggling with just the fine print and just the fine print, threading needles and things.
And is that in both eyes that you've noticed that change?
I don't know. I have both eyes open most of the time, so I've not.
There's not one that you think might be better than the other?
No.
Or might have been more affected by this?
No, I don't think so.
And do you have any other spectacles apart from your varifocals?
I have some sunglasses.
And are they the same prescription? Or
Yes,
are they
they are the same prescription.
and have you ever been seen at the hospital about your vision, or ever seen an eye specialist at all?
No.
And how's your general health at the moment?
Okay.
Do you take any tablets or any medicines at all?
Yes, I do. I take thyroxine and Calcius.
And do you have any difficulty reading instructions on the medicines and things like that?
No, I've been on them for so long. I don't have any problems.
And how do you find travelling around? Do you have any difficulties with sort of seeing things crossing roads?
I do have a bit of problems sometimes when I'm crossing roads sometimes.
And what sort of problem would that be?
Well, the other day I was crossing the road and this car hooted at me,
Right.
and I thought I was okay, but I didn't see it coming.
And have you noticed that any other times at all?
Not that's been life-threatening like that was.
Was it dark or was it in daytime?
It was daytime, but it was very, very bright,
Mhm.
and I didn't have my sunglasses with me.
And do you usually find that you see better when it's bright and sunny, or if it's a cloudy and dull day?
I think I prefer it when it's slightly dull. I mean, we've had such a gorgeous summer. It's been a bit bright.
And that affects your vision?
Yeah, it seems to. Yeah, it seems to just, now you're talking about it, seems to disturb me a bit more. Is that a problem?
No, it's just something. You just need to find out when you see best, under what sort of lighting conditions, to find out whether bright light's going to help you, or whether it's better for you to have, say, something like tinted lenses to help to make you more comfortable and to help you to see better. And what about at night time? How do you find you see then? Do you think your vision's changed?
Well, I don't drive at night anymore.
Mm-hmm. So you're still driving during the daytime?
Yeah, but only locally.
And did your optometrist suggest anything about your driving? Did they suggest whether your vision had been
Well, he
affected?
sort of said that perhaps I should consider not driving.
And what do you think about that?
Well, there's no buses where I live. It's a bit of a trek to walk to the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed all the buses and we've lost a lot of buses at the moment.
Right. So there are some buses, but it's just not very convenient, or there just isn't anything.
There isn't anything going through the village. They've stopped the bus that goes through the village, which was an hourly service. So I have to, walk quite a way.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything like a ring and drive service in your area?
I don't know. Would you be able to give me some information on that?
Yeah, we certainly can if we find it. So, which area are you in?
Well, it's just outside Wrexham.
Right. So we can certainly find out what the services might be in your particular area. But there often are things like that for where the bus services are not convenient.
Okay.
So do you work at the moment?
No, I've just retired.
And was that anything to do with your vision?
No.
What did you do?
I was a teacher in primary school.
And do you have any hobbies and interests?
Well, sewing and craft work.
Now you mentioned having difficulties threading your needles. Anything else that you're having difficulties with?
Well, threading needles, but particularly the sewing machine. And I'm struggling, when I'm drawing out things for making cards, I'm having to make sure that the pencil's quite sharp and not blunt, which I do anyhow, but I'm having difficulty seeing the outline when I want to cut it.
And you mentioned not really liking the bright light outdoors, but what about indoors when you're doing your craft work? What sort of lighting do you have then?
Well, the room I use for my craft work is, got 2 windows on it, so it's got quite a lot of light in it.
And any extra light that you can get even closer to things?
I haven't tried that.
So that might be helpful, because the closer you get it, it's much brighter illumination when you're getting even from daylight, and presumably daylight varies a bit from time to time as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So to try and get it a bit brighter on some occasions.
So in addition to the ceiling lights?
Yeah, because if you get the light to half the distance, you get 4 times as much light. So it's usually more effective to have a lamp that's really close to you, rather than one that's on the ceiling, even if it's a very bright lamp on the ceiling.
And would it be a particular type of lamp then?
Or something that doesn't get too hot if it's going to be really close. So a fluorescent or an LED would be the types of lamps that are best.
Right.
And you probably want something that's nice and stable, so you can move it over if you can adjust it, bend it into the right position, but that it isn't going to tip up. So you can get them that are on a quite heavy base, or that clamp onto the tabletop if it's perhaps a workbench that you're working on.
Okay, so if I went to somewhere place like B&Q, or do
you might find something there, or the RNIB supply them through their shop, and so you can go online for that. Or to a company like Optimus. There are various companies that sell these lamps, but you may find that there's something similar to what you wanted at the local B&Q as well.
Okay, thank you.
Do you do reading and?
Yes, well I do, yeah, but I do craft magazines and sewing magazines, and I
how do
enjoy
you find
reading.
that?
All right, but I am struggling, which is why I thought that I would need reading specialists.
And do
It's
you
almost as though the print's too small
right.
and my arms aren't long enough. You know, they just can't get it. And I've tried doing that, and I thought that would work, but it didn't. So that's so I was a bit.
And do you read books as well?
Yes, books.
And have you tried large print books, or have you found that you can manage with the standard print?
Well, I'm struggling a bit, with the standard print. The large print books, they're not very good at the library, and I don't know where else to get them from. But my daughter suggested perhaps I should use. I've got an iPad and I don't use it for reading, and she suggested that I could get e-books.
Yes, yeah, that's certainly a possibility. So there are various different types you can get. You can get an app that can read e-books. So either turn them into larger print or read them out to
Right, okay.
as an option for that. So you mentioned your iPad. Do you have a smartphone as well?
Yes, I do.
And have you had to do anything to that to make it easier to see in any way?
No, but I think I should, because I am struggling there too.
And do you use a computer, otherwise, say a desktop or anything like that?
I used to. Being newly retired, it's I'm enjoying not being on the computer all the time. But I suppose I'll go back to it.
And when you were using a desktop, did you use your Varifocus for that?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And have you used a Kindle or that sort of e-book?
No, I've not used a Kindle, no.
And what about writing? If you had to fill a form in, or you had to read a letter that came through the post? Any difficulty with that sort of
Okay,
thing?
I think I'm okay with that. I've not had anything in very small print. But most of my stuff, is online anyhow. Direct debits and things online.
Yeah. And so things like bank statements, you tend to do all of that online.
Yeah.
And what about around the house? Are there any jobs around the house that you find are difficult for you?
I don't mind doing it. Not really notice things, but
How about, say, reading instructions on packets or reading sell-by dates, anything like that?
yeah, reading. Yes, I am struggling. Reading instructions sometimes. I have handed things to my husband to read. Especially in, I don't know, it's difficult to say. You mentioned earlier about the different light level, different, whether it's easier, different when I was outside and things. So yeah, I think I'm finding it difficult sort of as the nights are drawing in and I'm putting on lights more and I'm getting told off.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly something I'd encourage you to do, is to use the light as much as possible. As you've kind of alluded to, there are some times when you need to control the light and it'd be better if it wasn't quite so bright. But there are some occasions where that bright light will really help you. So I'd encourage you to use the light. And you might find that a lamp that's close to you, again, doesn't maybe not necessarily needing all the ceiling lights on, but might find a light under the cupboard in the kitchen, or one that's just by the side of where you are, so you can just go close to that light when you need to see it.
Right, okay. So we're thinking of changing our kitchens. They, you said earlier about different fluorescent tubes and things like that.
Yeah, so you might find, certainly if you're doing sort of a light that's going to be on the ceiling, then probably the LED ones. Under the cupboards, fluorescent lamps under the cupboards can be useful. So it probably doesn't matter quite so much about what type of light it is there, because it's not that it's going to get hot and be close to you as it was going to be with a lamp on the table. But the LED ones are cheaper to run, so there's and last a very long time. So you might find that's a good option anyway from that point of view. And so you mentioned your sewing and craft work. Any other hobbies that you have?
Well, gardening, and we do dog agility.
And have you found any difficulties with either of those?
Gardening's fine. I have had a couple of misses places, I suppose, in the garden where I've nearly fallen over,
Right.
not seeing the steps.
And has that just happened, say, a couple of times?
It's just a couple of times, but I've just put it down to me being careless, really, and sort of being tripped up by the dogs as they run around.
And have you used any magnifiers or anything like that to help you
No.
see?
No,
Have
yeah.
you used anything like that? And how do you feel about using a magnifier then, if that was something that would help you with your reading and with your craft work?
But with my craft work, it's a bit difficult because I need something with, I'm quite often using two hands. So magnify, you'd have to hold.
Well, there are all sorts of different magnifiers. So there are magnifiers you can have in spectacles, and there are magnifiers that you can have on a stand that might help with your craft work. So what would you like to get out of today? What's the aim, would you say, for this visit?
Well, you've given me quite a lot of information about lighting, so I think I can obviously go away and research that a bit more. But yeah, if we can get something that's scratching mounted or something to help me with my craft work and things like that.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll measure your vision in both eyes and work out exactly what you can see at the moment, and then work out perhaps what the different strategies might be to help you with that craft work.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.